All right, well, we got a real deal going when the Cowboys show up. So we're going to talk a little bit with these fellas, and let me have your name.
Yeah, I'm Dale Hooper, and I'm with Cowboys for Trump, and been part of it for almost from the get-go. So, and it's been a great ride, and we're not done yet. That's for sure. We're not done yet. And this is my boy William Hooper. Yeah.
Right,
so. Yes.
All right, good deal. So tell me a little bit about. Yeah, I'm sure Coy's probably up.
Yep, Coy's in D.C. right now. They left. They did it's been a couple weeks now. If you guys could check it out on our Facebook page, Cowboys for Trump. But they started in El Paso, and with Women for Trump, and they made a huge trip, and they had a bunch of towns here to D.C. and they're in D.C. right now. And I think Coy probably get a chance to speak today in some of them rallies, and it ought to be a special day. We're praying for all of them over there, and we had to come represent our own state here in New Mexico and pray for Coy over there in D.C. So he's doing the fight, keeping it up.
Yeah, we all are. That's what we're here for.
That's right.
So tell me what your feeling is about this whole debacle.
It's a darn embarrassment. I'm not kidding. I haven't done a post since the election. I'm pretty vocal. A lot of you guys probably know me. It breaks it flat out breaks your heart that our country's allowing this to happen. And I talk to the brainwash that people have is just it's sad because they just believe what they watch on TV, and they have no clue what the actual fraud and how much fraud there actually is that's happening. And then, you know what the sad thing is that we allowed it to happen again last night in a Georgia race and in the Senate races. And until we start changing our country on our elections, I don't know if we're ever going to win again. I really don't. And I'm praying that Mike Pence does the right thing today, and he stands up for Trump. And we'll see.
So tell me, what do you see that we can do here in New Mexico?
I think education. I do. We've rode. I'm gonna probably guess we probably rode dang near every county in the state of New Mexico, and I think the misinformation out there is what people believe, and that's a sad thing. Even conservatives, they go on because they see it and they start thinking that's true, and I think we've got to educate. We got to educate our state, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Trump lost New Mexico. I don't. When I ride around, for instance, when we went to Espanola and rode, Espanola, very, very Democrat stronghold. We signed over 54 people to the Republican Party that day, and it was one of the biggest rallies we've ever been in Espanola. And I'm thinking if that's just one Democrat stronghold, I think that happened all over the state, and I firmly believe that we won New Mexico. Of course, they're going to be, you don't know what you're talking about, but I'm telling you, when I rode town after town after town and county after county, the amount of Trump supporters is unbelievable in New Mexico. And that's why Trump has a lawsuit. That's why there's a lawsuit here, because I firmly believe, I think not only did he win Arizona, he won New Mexico. I have a ranch, I'm on both sides of the border. I have a ranch, State Line Cattle Company, and my ranch goes on both sides, and I think Arizona's the next one. We won Arizona also. So.
Yes, sir. Well, we're on the same page on all that.
Yeah.
For sure. Go ahead.
You talk about our challenges that we have to on the education part. It's going to be tough because, it goes from educate to the schools, everything across the board. I've been in education now for 23 years, and I've been coaching, and it's tough. It's tough, and unfortunately, when you have big tech, all these younger generation today, that's all they see is the big tech, and they believe it, and it's hard. It's hard, and older people that should know better are the same way.
Let me ask you this. So one of the things that we're dealing with, and we're working with a bunch of the concerned citizens here in the state on the shutdown and what it's doing to our economy and what it's doing to our students. I'd really like to get your perspective on the students.
Yeah. I don't think our governor truly cares. At all. Yeah. I don't know on the education. I can't. That's the story I'm thinking of because of suicide. I can't. I'll start crying. It's terrible.
Well, that's what I understand. There's been several athletes that have taken their lives.
You know, I don't think people realize that, like, for coaching, yeah, I mean, you don't get to see your kids. You know, it's tough.
It's a touchy subject, and the kids are what we do, most of what we do, you know, for. And so,
you know, I understand people being scared because they worry about the coronavirus, and I understand that. But you know what? What's happened to our kids? What's happened to our not just my athletes, just our kids in general. My daughter, I have a daughter that's a senior. She's missed her whole senior year. She'll never get that back. She'll never get her sports back. She'll never get that friendship. She'll never get that guidance in being a leader. What we need to have our kids to become leaders. People, I don't think and it aggravates me because I think people underestimate our coaches today. And I'm going to talk about coaches across New Mexico and across the country, but that's what we do. We build these kids into being future leaders in our country, and we can't even see them. It's a dang disgrace. When I have kids that want to drop out of school, and you know, there's nothing I can do about it. It's because, you know what? It's all political nonsense. Look at South Dakota. Look at these other states. You know, they're going. They're doing fine. Look at our private schools. Hope Christian, still going in school today right now. There's a private school in Berlin. One of our young men here is in. They haven't missed a day. You know, there's ways to fight what we're doing, but our governor, you think she's gonna listen? No. It's an embarrassment, and it's sad because the suicide. Yeah.
Well, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, right?
Yeah.
And that's why she's not willing to do.
They're trying to protect kids. They're not trying to protect kids. They're lying. And if people believe that, they're kidding themselves. So, but that's a tough one on me, and that's a big one to my heart. You know, I've been blessed enough to coach football now for 23 years, and I hope I get to coach again. We'll see.
Me too. You're good. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much. All right, you too. There is so much that we have to, one, be thankful for, but two, to be upset about, because our kids are suffering as much as anything. The businesses are suffering, families are suffering, and this place is the state is already in a bad spot. But how in the world are we going to be able to salvage it? I don't know, but we're going to sure try. I want to thank these guys for taking the time to speak to us today, because as you can see, there's a diverse group of people that are seeing the truth and truly upset about the nefarious activities of people who are supposed to have our best interests at heart.